Hey guys, I'm gonna do a yo-yo collection video. Starting off, we have a Yotrix Civility green. We have a Yo-Yo Factory DV888. And then this company that I'm about to show you next is really underestimated, but they make fantastic yo-yos. And that is Magic Yo-Yo. I have pretty much all the N series yo-yos from them besides the N10 because that thing is more of a work of art than a yo-yo. So first up we have the N5. I'd highly recommend this company. Out of the 6 yo-yos that I've gotten from them, only 2 of them really had something wrong with them, and that was just the bearings being over lubricated, so it was just a quick clean and relube. This is N6, my N8, and then we have the N9. I took off the Z stacks just to make it a bit quieter. Fantastic yo-yos. And I have the N11, black gold splash. Then we have the N12 Shark's Honor. I'd say this is pretty much the best yo-yo that they have because of the finish on it. It's a bead blast, which is unusual for them. They're usually just like a really well polished. This thing plays fantastic. All of their yo-yos play fantastic. Like, these yo-yos honestly play as if they're yo-yos that are 4 times the price, but you're getting them for $20, and it's just outstanding. Next up we have the Dark Magic 2 Yo-Yo Expert Edition, translucent red and black. I use this for 5A. We have PSG. We have Yo-Yo Factory Grand Machine. We have a Yo-Yo Factory 1. I basically only really got this yo-yo for the concave bearing that it came with. Now this is a special edition one that comes with the concave bearing. And I decided to flip the caps inside out because I think just plain black looks better. Next up we have a Yo-Yo Factory New Velocity. The reason why I got this is that I wanted a responsive yo-yo, but I also didn't just want to waste 20 bucks on a responsive yo-yo. So the velocity is nice because obviously you can change the response really quick. Next up I have a modified Fast 201 by Yo-Yo Factory. What I did is that I popped off the caps and all the insides to where it's just this plastic shell. I clipped off the starburst response, and then I took a hot glue gun that has a really thin nozzle, and I put the yo-yo back together, and I stuck the nozzle inside the yo-yo cap, and I literally just filled the inside with hot glue. Here, let me show you this. Okay. As you can see right there, completely filled up with hot glue. I overfilled it so that way all the starburst had hot glue squirting out of it, and then I let it cool off, and then I went back over with a razor blade and cut it flat, and then I went over the holes with a lighter to soften it up and smooth out the hot glue again. And this thing plays unresponsive, and it's quiet, and it's awesome. So, modified fast 201. Next up, we have another modified yo-yo. This is a Turbo Tread by Super Yo. This is my very first yo-yo, and I actually threw a ball bearing in it by cutting out. It comes with a little wood axle, and it's like in an 8 shape like this, and I just cut off the very corner so that way it's just like flat, and then 1H, and then I was able to flip a small responsive bearing right over that, so now it's a responsive yo-yo, ball bearing yo-yo, and this thing is pretty much a vintage, and it was my very first yo-yo. As you can see, it's really worn. And then just for old time's sake and for novelty, I decided to get a brand new one. These things are really hard to come by. Only place that I could find that has this is on Yo-Yo Sam, and I have no idea how many they have left. Next, we have a yo-yo that I got from Minneapolis on a field trip with my friends. Can't really tell you much about this yo-yo. I think it's from there's like a really cheap company. It's pretty old and it starts with a T. I can't think of it right now. I think it might be Spintastics, but I can't confirm that. Next up, we have a glow-in-the-dark Duncan Imperial. You can see there. And then we have Grandpa Sam's old-fashioned wooden yo-yo from Yo-Yo Sam. I got this just because it was like $3 while I was ordering my N5, my N6, and my N8. So, wait, no, it was my N12, this Super Tread yo-yo, and that was a different order I'm thinking of. Next up, we have a Duncan Butterfly. And I have a generic red yo-yo, wooden yo-yo. I got this from a Yo-Yo Look. So, you know. I got this yo-yo from a friend that went to Portugal and got it as a souvenir for me. Then this yo-yo I made. This is from a solid block of maple. It's lightweight and it works, but it's really not all that good. As you can see, the burn mark from a little dabble on both sides, so it's that. And then this is another yo-yo that I made. Doesn't really work. It has a ton of vibration, like constantly. It can go down and back up if you get a good throw on it. That's about it. I made this out of zebra wood, and it has a ball bearing kit inside of it, but for whatever reason I just can't get it to work properly, which is a real bummer, but what are you gonna do? So that's my first case. I got this case from Yo-Yo Expert, and then inside I just have some lime green kitty string. Then over on this case I made myself a Paracord yo-yo holster, and then I also have another holster that's just a hair tie on a little clip, and of course it's also a clip over there with some tape on the bottom so that way it doesn't scratch my yo-yos. Next up we have a Go Big by Yo-Yo Jam. This is my first off-string yo-yo, and I have to say I have 110% more with off-string players because this is difficult for me. And I swear, like, within the first few hours of me having this, I actually wound up breaking it out of a rage. Because, like, I just kind of, like, stomped on it, and it kind of made the gap smaller, but I was able to fix it just by getting a screwdriver and prying it apart, so that way it's back to normal. So, That kind of sucked, but I fixed it. And then these last two yo-yos over here. We have a cheap dollar store yo-yo that I decided, like, this thing weighed less than 2/4. So I just threw in a bunch of hot glue. This is really just shit. This is just a dollar store yo-yo. That's horrible. And then I have a used to be modified Duncan Imperial. I pried it apart, took out the inside caps, and then I took a screwdriver, warmed it up till it was red hot, and pushed it right through. You can see the hole right there to both sides. And I basically made a Duncan Butterfly out of it. But never really used it, and I just put it back to how it was. So that is my yo-yos of 2014. This is the 5th of May.